Hi there. This video today is on rolling the quadriceps, the four muscles at the front of the thigh that go down across the knee. So in conjunction with some of the other videos, this is going to be geared toward people who might have knee pain and who have noticed that it limits what you can do during the day. If there's some stuff going on that just is a little frustrating, that there's some knee noise, there's some knee sharp pain. So it's a quick, simple video to work three of the four muscles to a certain extent. So we're going to work straight down the thigh, from the side down toward the knee, and from the inside down. And then our last stop will be in front of the knee itself on the shin, right? So the things you'll need: a ball, whichever ball you'd like, and a chair. And I'm using a back bender because it's what I had at hand. So have a seat, join me, and let's see how this goes. So we'll work that first layer and come all the way up toward the hip bone, right where the torso meets the thigh, and take a little bit of pressure in the ball straight down. And the simple movement here is to straighten the knee and then bend the knee back. Straighten and bend. Now you can lift the thigh up a little bit as you're doing that, but I prefer that we keep the thigh pretty parallel to the ground. So let me turn to the side so you can see that. Pressure down at the hip crease, and from here I straighten and bend. Now here's the deal. If there's knee noise, there's little creaks and clicks, make this smaller. The point being, we're working quality over quantity, right? Have you ever had a really nice chocolate bar? And the higher the quality of the chocolate, the less of it that you need. So the less repetitions we might need if we're moving in a really quality way without a lot of pain or noise. So I'm going to slide down a little bit and then move again. While I'm doing this, I want to notice how much tension my other leg has, how my shoulders feel, and then maybe again make this movement smaller so the rest of my body is still relaxed, or as relaxed as it can be, yeah? And then I slide down again. There might be some fun spots here, fun in air quotes, that we might want to just take a few breaths in rather than actually do the knee movement, right? If the pain increases, then that's a movement that we don't need right now. We need to really honor that. And the great deal about going straight down the thigh is that it's kind of a buy one, get one free, because we've got a big thigh muscle that runs across the top, and we've also got another one right underneath it, another one of our quads, which is why for the four muscles we're only really doing three movements. So now the last one is just in front of the knee. So here's my kneecap, and I'm coming to kind of the squishiest place just above my kneecap, putting some pressure there and moving. You might have to lean forward a little bit for that, and it might be the noisiest space, so you might need to move really small. Whew, my legs are tired. All right, so that's one. Let's come back now to the outside of the thigh. So somewhere between the middle and all the way out, there's just going to be a fun spot about halfway between. So there's a little pressure there in this hand, pressing in, and the leg straightens again. We have another video that talks about how to work the IT band. So this is kind of in conjunction with that. We're working some of the muscles and some of the movements that go in line with that. Not a big motion again. And check in with how you're breathing. So are you just breathing either into the belly or into the chest? And could you think of, as you're breathing, your torso as a cylinder? So we're filling front to back, top to bottom, and even side to side as we breathe. Now here's the deal. It doesn't mean take a deeper breath. It actually means take a smaller breath, but let it fill the whole torso. as you're moving your leg. It's the same principle, right? Quality of breath over quantity. Another example that you may like is red wine or whiskey, right? The higher the quality, the less you need, and the more filling it might be. So here's that spot just in front of my knee again, and I'm coming to it 3 times because it's a pretty important spot where all of those muscles, all 4 of the quadriceps, join to cross the knee and help the shin move better. And then come back. And notice now how the outside and the middle of the leg are feeling before we start on the inside. So I'm going to use the other hand, because it's easier, to add just a little pressure to the inside of the thigh. And it's halfway between here, the middle thigh, and over to the inside of the thigh toward the groin. So a little pressure there, and I know. You straighten the knee again. It's super fancy, isn't it? And then slide down, add a little pressure. And you'll feel when you straighten your knee, there's some resistance into the ball. It's pretty fantastic. Ooh, this side's really shaky. So if it's really shaky, try a few smaller ones and maybe land your heel or your whole foot back down in between them. So I have 2 more stops. What do you think the last one's going to be? Right. It's the top of the knee, yep. And maybe it's the top of the knee and just a little to the side as you move. Great. So hang out there for a moment and check in with your breathing again. Remember those 3 spaces, front and back, top and bottom, side to side. And then the ball comes just in front and below the knee. There's another little squishy spot there, and that's where all of those quads come together and cross. So all we want to do is roll a little side to side. If you want to work straightening the knee, you certainly can, but I think just a little pressure on that, a little side to side, feels actually really good. Especially with the knee bent. Then you can do a little down and up if you'd like as well, but I think the cross here actually feels quite good. And from there, just a few breaths, we take a seat and notice, as we're here, the difference in the 2 legs, because I bet they're going to feel quite different. This one will feel a little looser, a little lighter, and this one might feel heavy. And then we stand up, and let's do a few movements here. So we want to stand on the leg we haven't rolled, and slide this leg a little back, and then slide it a little forward. And check in with, is it easy to lift the leg off the floor and balance on the other one? Or is the other leg a little shaky? And then we pause and switch sides. So now the leg that we've rolled is the stable, steady leg as we move the other one back. Now while this one might not move as much because we haven't rolled it, it should feel really stable on the other one, on your balancing leg. Where it might be easier to lift and move. And then come back. So you might want to take a walk around the house and notice the difference between the legs before you come back and roll the other side. And you can either do that on your own or start the video again and go through all we just did, middle, outside, inside, and past the knee. And then if you have any questions, send me an email. Let me know if you want to set up a Skype so we can talk face to face, or we can even talk over the phone. But until that time, have a ball.